Stasi Museum. As you can see, it's very much in East Berlin. I think it was the Stasi offices at the going back in the GDR days. So I'm not quite sure what to expect. It doesn't feel very menacing around here for some silly reason. Okay, I think that, yeah, there it is. I've just seen the sign. Welcome to the Stasi Museum. Okay, right outside there, quite a lot of displays. Looks like the late 80s and the lead up to the fall of the Berlin Wall. I'm here on opening time, so there doesn't seem to be a massive queue, so I'm going to head straight in and I'll look at this lot later. Why does this look familiar? Did this feature in that show, was it Deutschland 87 or something? Just looks familiar. This is just an information panel outside House 22, as it was called, which is the officers' canteen and conference room. What's interesting to note is like Hohenhausen, the prison, basically this whole area is controlled by the Stasi. So I'm standing in the middle of the courtyard by House 22. The focusing doesn't want to focus. Why doesn't it want to focus? Anyway, I'm by 22. Behind me is the Stasi Museum. That way. Basically, this whole area was Stasi controlled. The Stasi archive over there. That's why it feels a bit creepy in here. This is all Stasi. So this is a model. So currently in there, which is the museum, number 1. Which is the main, what's it called? Well, the leadership are based here, basically. So you can see the size of the whole site. So House 22, that one. And the flats behind it. 15, 16. Main administration, reconnaissance, espionage in the west. Okay. Look at the size of that one, number 15. That's espionage in the west section. Look at it. Jesus. 47. Post inspection. Securing traffic. Anyway, you can see the size of the place. This is the main entrance hall. I'm going to change perspective a bit. There we go. So this was the entrance hall to the main office, which is where all the leaders would come. And these are the original flags that were left here. So this is a prisoner transport vehicle. This is the kind of thing they would take people off the streets in. They would be painted in bakery and butcher livery and flowers and all the rest of it. Got a nice pretty curtain. Vaguely see the writing on it, but you can see there's just dark prison cells. I think there was 5, if I remember correctly, from yesterday at Hohenhausen. But the thing that's just so creepy is how, when they put them in the vehicle, they would drive them around for hours to disorientate them. They're only actually taking them a couple of miles away. Cafe sign. I think these are kind of 2 lifts, 2-person lifts. They're very different, aren't they? So far, it's just consisted of rooms with information of old photos, which the odd bit of memorabilia, but not very exciting yet. Some scary photos there. So that's 17th of June, 53. That's Dharma Plus. See the station sign there. There's a great photo here from Bratislava. August 68. Never seen that before. There's a spring gun. I thought it was on the ground, it was mounted on the fence. There's a better view, house 22. This is a map showing collaborators, conspiratorial flats in Berlin. The first really creepy thing here. So this was the door put into somebody's apartment, and it wasn't discovered until they renovated in the 80s. I think it said 17 years. Correction, 17 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall, so that's in 2000s. A bug installed in the door with batteries, Duracell. Look at that. So they were spied on for years without realising it. Just to show you couldn't trust anyone. This imitation red suitcase belonged to Erich Milke. He kept incriminating documents about Erich Honecker, just in case. So we also had, what did it have? It had files dating back to the Nazi period that concerned a trial against Erich Honecker and other members of the Communist Party. This is really good, this radio. The white markings are the safe East German radio stations. So basically, if you could see the dial, you knew the person was listening to a forbidden channel from West Germany. This is where Milke hung out. This is off his desk. And you'd have meetings here. I keep seeing these tapes, I'm wondering if everything was recorded. Either way, this is where he resided, with direct phone links to many people on his own switchboard, so he could phone who he wanted. So this was the casino, as called, because this is where they hung out after conferences and during meetings, or in the middle of meetings. This is the main meeting room, conference room. I do love these panels though, you can, multiple maps attached. This is about brainwashing kids from an early age. Lovely uniforms, membership cards, badging. And they progress to the FDJ. It's kind of a youth organisation. Youth books, propaganda books, military education reservoir of knowledge. It's a 1978 book. It's about the 10th graders. And a hand grenade that they would use at sports to practice throwing. Listeners, look, so this is the bugging camera equipment that they had. This one. So that's the bug. They could hide it in in the power socket. So you wouldn't need batteries. Here's some typical bugs. Here's some hidden cameras. It's a radio. It's a thermos flask with a camera. It's a belt with a camera. Is that a wallet with a wrist bag? It's a tie. Handbag, I think. So, shopping bag with examples actually. But now we come to the really good ones. So this is a really expensive single lens camera. But this one I love, infrared. So that's an infrared array hidden in a car door. Have a thin barrier over it. That's what it looked like.
The jar must be down, but those are all the things that they use.
It's amazing. This is a spy hole camera.
And this is made to put inside a coast. It looks like a thing like in a watering can. That's right.
Well, this is the device, steamer, to open envelopes. What's this? Oblique light, so you could check for code. Hidden messages. Oops. Parcel probe. An X-ray machine. This shows how the filing is kept on everybody. This is a book. Every apartment building had one person whose job was to monitor comings and goings of everybody, visitors, everybody had to sign in and out. And volunteer assistance of the DVP armband and ID badge. So they supported the police to check people's personal data, make arrests and hand suspects over to the police. There are 170,000 in 1989 when it was the wall fell. And here we have index card system. That's the original, used to keep track of people and whether they were good at giving information or not. Here's a very better view of odour samples kept in a jar. And this is the chair for photographing new people for interrogation. So the panels outside obviously explain the history of the revolution here up until the fall of the wall. All the protests that took place, all the demonstrations, all the arrests, but how eventually by the end of 89 the protesters just outnumbered the authorities and they stood back basically. And then within a few hours, the famous news conference where I think the guy was asked about the movement of people across the border, across the wall, I mean. And he famously, somebody asked him, well, when does this come into effect? And he pretty much shrugged and said, I suppose immediately. And then the wall fell. The fall of the wall. Great photos here. Now here is the archive, which I think if you're German of a certain age, you can come here and see what the Stasi kept on you. It's like the National Archives in Kew, perhaps, but obviously a little bit more sinister. There's the view from the other side, Magdalena Strasse. So all these buildings, including the tower block, I think it's as far as the tower block, so the white building at the end is not part of it, but the rest is part.